All right. Welcome to a family chat. I am coming to you live from our Kids of Grace sports camp, the first week. So I'm a little mobile right now, but I do want to take some time to answer some questions that you may have regarding a few key things. And so we want to talk today about two main things. One is the Narnia production. I want to discuss the eligibility, dates, and location, and really just kind of the overall uh, flow and of how that's going to go down. And the second one will be just give a Timber Trails overview, discussing what the Prime program will be, uh, the focus classes A day, focus classes B day. A lot of this has already been discussed, but like many things, repetition is what really gets it into our heads and minds. And so we want to just cover this real fast and be on our way. So, to start, let's talk about Narnia. And many of you got this email. We are going to be doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I'm really excited for this classic story, one of the all-time most beloved children's classic written by C.S. Lewis, famous Christian apologist and author. And you may notice that the graphic looks a little unique, and that's because we are adapting this from a theater production company. So this is not us figuring out our own Narnia. We are going to be using another version of it. And so it's dramatized by Joseph Robinette. He's adapted a lot of plays with the intention of with from dating back to the 70s onward, and a lot of them are with the intention for children. And so it is adapted. So there are going to be some changes. And now I'll be the first to admit I am not a big fan of changing Narnia, but this is kind of what we have to do to have the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe available to us. Now, before we get going, there's no modern woke garbage in it, and we do have the ability to selectively request things and pull them out. So we are in a good spot. We're not having to do things that we don't want to do with the production. So no worries there. So this is a an adaptation, and just to get into it, the proposed production will be December 15th through the 16th. Those are the proposed dates. Now I say proposed just to tell that they're not finalized yet. So that's what we're working towards. We're working towards finalization, and we should have that within a few weeks. The main thing we need to do is just confirm with our venue, confirm with the production theater. They want to know when it's going to be done. So those are the main things that we have to worry about. Now, other than that, it's very likely going to happen those days. There's no real conflict with either the venue or the production. We just want to put a little asterisk by it to make sure that we know it's proposed. Um, Moving forward, eligible for speaking roles, we have third through 12th grade. Now, I will say this, and this is going to come up. Do you have to be in the theater class to do this? And the answer is no, you don't have to be in the theater class. But I will give it a caveat. It would definitely help if you want to get a role that you want. To be in the theater class is not going to hurt your chances. It will only help your chances of getting a role. Now, I would say theater and choir would be the two classes I would recommend to help bolster your chances. With that being said, we want to make sure that the roles are filled by the best possible candidate that we can find, and that will speak to what we're doing next. We will have an audition. So the audition times will be Tuesday, the first, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on September 10th. So it's going to be a week before the micro school starts, and that's going to be at Lake Bible. And we'll announce the room location for you. But this is going to be September 10th. Is going to be our audition, and we're going to be sending out a booking for those registered for when they can come in to do it. Now, if that date does not work, please make arrangements before the following week will be callbacks. So pretty much the entire week of September 16th will be callbacks, but we don't want to make that many exceptions. So if all possible, September 10th is when you'd be auditioning. So our practice times will be Tuesday, 3 p.m. to 5. That's going to be the set time for our Narnia production times. Now, I will also give another caveat. If you have a major speaking role, we will likely be asking a little more of you, and that might result in a early morning thing or a Zoom call or something. There will be the expectation of if you're getting a major speaking role, that there might be a little more asked of you, especially closer to the time of the production. Practice times will be following all the Timber Trails programming, so there won't be any conflict there. And so we're going to be doing the whole shebang at our Lake Oswego campus. That's Lake Bible Church. So everything's from the audition, the practice, and the production. That's all going to be there, and it's going to be nice to have it all in one spot. The cost to participate is $100. That is licensing fees. That is baseline fees that gets us the opportunity to have this production. So who's eligible to participate? If you are involved in one of our micro schools, either Timber Trail or Timber Academy, you're eligible. If you're enrolled in an elective, you're eligible. The main reason that we are requiring that is because we want to have an anchoring in the program. We want you to be a part of Kids of Grace, and this is how you can be a part of our academy. The age requirements, like I said, 3rd through 12th grade is going to be the prerequisite for speaking roles. However, we're probably going to lean on the older kids, giving them more opportunities. So there's definitely roles for everybody, and that's going to be the next thing. Stage participation, we're going to allow kinder through 12th grade. With a few caveats, if you have especially younger kids, we are going to call upon you to help with the volunteering. So we want to make sure that we, as the production leads, are not distracted from the actual play. So we will be needing additional help, especially for the people with younger kids. And so we'll arrange for that volunteer system. But there'll be lots of ensemble roles and lots of uh, non-speaking roles. The speaking roles will be kind of the classic roles: Aslan, the White Witch, Peter, Susan, Edmund, Mr. Beaver, Mrs. Beaver, Tumnus. And this is where it gets a little adapted. There's a unicorn added in. If you are looking for that in the original book, it will not be there. A centaur. Fenris Ulf is actually the chief of police. And I've read at one point why it's changed from Morgren, but it is. And then Father Christmas and Father Christmas's elf and the White Stag. So there are some additional characters added, but it doesn't change the heart and flow of the play at all. Non-speaking roles will include Aslan's army, the White Witch's army, and wood nymphs. But the wooden nymphs are going to double as stagehand. So if you just want to be a nice tree, that's great. But we also need to remember that they're going to be the ones changing out the sets. So the goal, and this is an ambitious goal, is that we don't fade to black at all until the intermission. So it's going to be a constant moving of the stage. And so that is something that's a goal. It may not happen, but it's a goal. So there's going to be 16 speaking roles all together. And so if you are interested in doing Narnia, we'd love to have you. Just follow these links at the bottom, fill this out, and you're good to go. So that's what I want to cover with Narnia. I then want to move to our Timber Trails. And so we've made this breakdown here. And we've just been getting a lot of questions. So I do think it's worth just explaining a little more in detail what we're going to be doing. And so the overview, essentially, it's broken down into 3 segments. So Timber Trails is 3 segments. You can pay for 1 or 2 or all 3 of the segments. That's kind of how it works. You can pick the setting that works best for you. And so you're going to go to Prime Program. So we're changing the name from Core Program to Prime Program because there really isn't core. The core is more of the math and English. And so we're just changing it to Prime, catchy name. And essentially what that's going to be is science, art, music, fitness, and Bible. Those are going to be the main classes. But also in addition to that is going to have a very classroom traditional feel where you're dividing ages, you're in your grade, you have a teacher, they're going to be running those programming, the science, it's all going to be interconnected within the classroom experience. Okay. That is going to be the prime program. In addition, we're going to be doing the class parties, special things for Valentine's Day, special holiday parties are going to be involved in the prime program. So that's all going to be baked into the prime cake. And there's no parsing out. So you can't just do science, you can't just do art. It's all one big thing. And so that is our prime program, and that's 9 to noon. And for many people, this will look like what traditional co-op has been. So we again, like we're moving away from the name co-op simply because it's all going to be centralized. However, if you want just the same programming, that's what this is going to be. So prime program is essentially what the co-op will and has been. Then we're going to move to focus classes. And like I said in our last family chat, we're making that history and literature together. And the A-Day focus classes will run 1 to 3 p.m. directly after the prime program. So wherever campus you're at, if it has the prime program, and our goal is to have it available to anyone that needs it, wants it, it's going to be directly after the prime program. We're going to allow a little time for lunch. So obviously you'll notice that one's done at noon, the other starts at 1, but it's going to be right after. So if it meets on Tuesday, then the A-Day if your A-Day meets on Tuesday, then the focus class will meet on that day directly after. It's a Wednesday, same scenario. So it's going to be directly attached to that A-Day. And that is the history and literature, and they're going to flow together. They're going to be intermixed. And again, we're moving towards those being inseparable, simply because that's going to be how they're working. Now, we are still pricing it that you can do them differently, but we're going to discourage that as much as possible. The final focus class will be math and English, and that's going to be a B-Day at Lake Oswego. So at the Lake O campus, we'll be doing math and English. And the good news is that's the day that we have a lot of electives available for the grade school and middle school. That's going to be the main day. The main hall for electives will be on that day. So that will be an opportunity for you guys to enjoy the family center, be a part of the electives, and do it that way. So that is, in a nutshell, what I wanted to talk about. And so look forward to hearing from you guys. If you have questions for next week's family chat, please send them. And if we get a lot of the same questions, we're going to make sure that those get answered. If it's a one-off question, we'll probably directly answer your email. We'll hopefully do that anyways. But in the meantime, may the Lord bless you guys. Reach out if you have any questions. We'd love to partner with you. So look forward to seeing you this summer or the fall, whenever that opens up. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.